Hello, I'm gonna do a test, and here how we begin, just to clarify everything, because I'm trying to do it for myself. So this is 1 hour. This is a 200 moving average on the 1 hour chart. Here's a 200 moving average based on 1 hour. This is based on 1 hour, so it doesn't matter what time zone I take. This is always gonna be based on 1 hour, and this is 1 hour time frame. I can't go 15 minutes because it started in July and this is June, so it won't work. Maybe I'll do another one after. But 1 hour, that's it. 1 hour highs and lows. This was the low right here. This was the low. And then this is the high we came across because price down. We're not gonna look what happened in the past. And the reason why is because we broke this 200, right? We broke it and we fell really far away from it. Yeah, we could have counted from here, possibly, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're just looking at this little one chart. So this was the low, this was the high. Price came and respected and didn't go lower. And then it broke a structure. So then this became the new low. Because this was never a low until we break a structure of this high. Because price could have done this and then came low, right? And this would have disqualified this little uptrend. Right here, we realize this is an uptrend on the 1 hour chart. Like we wouldn't known if this is like a little uptrend unless we have the breakout. And this is what happened. But a breakout while respecting this. If it was something like this and a breakout, then it would kind of disqualify this because this could have been like a fake out. You understand? Or something like that. Or this would have been not a low and it went a little bit lower, and then this would be the new high and this high would never count, you know? So this kind of confirms a little uptrend, right? And price continue. So how do we capitalize on this? We actually found a little up and down here, right here, up and down candles. And this basically means price didn't really know where to go and just stabilize here. And obviously it went breakthrough and then break out. And the lower time frame probably says more, but we can't really go on it. So we're just going to count this as an up and down candle. And then price, and then here could be our like first target. Price came here, and we could either take a long from here and stop loss a little bit lower than the box in case it goes a little bit lower. And then it went up. Here we have a break of structure, but this is like a, you know, it never closed above. But we're still going to count this as a break of structure for the purpose of this. Do not make sense. That if this is a break of structure of this high, that means we have to find a low. The next low would be right here. The only way this low is confirmed if we actually break up structure from here. So this low never confirmed until because you know price could have actually went down and do something like this, right? So when this happened, break of structure, this low was confirmed, right? So now we have a new low. Instead of this low, now we have a new low, right? So the low is always getting higher. Price came and rejected from this 200 moving average on 1 hour, right? So rejected, but how would you confirm this rejection? Honestly, here we have this liquidity, little wick liquidity. So price actually broke and then stabilized. So that means this is a support area now, because this was the demand supply, and now it's support or demand. I still fuck this up, but this is an area of, you know, price. And then price basically stayed here, but at the same time we have this 200 moving average pushing the price down, and the price cannot break above like really strong. Obviously it's breaking a little, but it's not strong enough. And then price fell into it and then came back up and then fell again into it, right? And then just couldn't get back up. Another thing is, the more it touches these kind of zones, like these liquidity zones, the higher chance it's going to break down and not up. Because it's just like keep touching it, but it's not like moving. Like for example, there's a group of buyers, right? Every time price goes here and touches, it should push up, right? If the demand is strong, it would just push the price up, right? But if the demand is weak, it will just continue and then keep bouncing. It could go higher a little bit, but it would just keep bouncing. And that means that they don't have enough momentum to break the price higher. So then next time it's just going to break through. So they lost the opportunity right here. Price breakdown. Okay. Price is falling down, 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 down. And this is our... okay, so yeah. Yeah, okay, so this is our previous low, right? This is not a low because yeah, we broke out, but this doesn't mean it's a low. The low is based on the high. So you see this high, this is the highest low, and the reason why is because of this break. So the only way this would be a low if we actually had a break above this. So if price actually broke out, this would be the next low, but price never did that, right? So that's not a low, and this is the low. Okay, and then price actually broke this low. This basically means change of character. This means this little uptrend is kind of ending. Change of character, price comes and reject above this low, right? Sometimes it could go up and do this or something, but rejected. We have this little area too. I mean, you could trade stuff like this, but never confirmed because we never broke. But you see how price went up and down, and then the next candle, and then the next candle just nuked, right? Just some confirmation you could trade. Maybe on the lower time frame it makes sense. I don't know. But it rejected here. This first ever low turns into liquidity because on the higher time frame we're not looking, but on this 1 hour, but on the higher time frame, thinking about it, every time we went higher and higher, we created all this liquidity. So people trading higher time frames, this is where their stop loss would be because they're expecting price to go higher, right? So we tag liquidity, and then obviously price goes even lower, right? It could have went higher from here, it goes lower, but we're still in the downtrend. And then right now, I haven't drawn anything, but this would be the low. Let's make it a little bit more presentable. This would be the low. And this is the downtrend, remember this. And then price came up here, blah, 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 blah. And then this would be the high. And then price went down, broke the low. So this low is broken. That means this is the new low. How would we know if this is a high? That's the thing. Honestly, it's really hard to say, but I think this one thing could help us is you see how prices, you see how this 200 pushing us low, but price is actually going lower, but it's not making crazy. Like you see how the difference between these two lows, this low and this low, and then here we have a little bit aggressive, less aggressive low, right? This could be turning like, okay, price is like consolidated, so you could draw like a triangle, and price is actually consolidating, and that means it's going to break out of this triangle. So yeah, so this is the new low that price makes because we're in a downtrend. It's the same thing as here. Every time price breaks the high, the low is set, right? Here would be the opposite. Every time price breaks the low, the high would be set. And the high is right here. This is the high. That's the thing that's been set because we broke here. Because this high would never exist if price actually came here and does this, because then we don't know. The price could have went higher as long as it breaks. So this high, we wouldn't, I mean, we could draw this high, but this high is never confirmed until we break this low. So right here, we confirm this is a high, correct? Then price goes up, and then you see it gets a little bit complicated sometimes, but price goes here, but we never break this. We never broke this low. So this is kind of like we have this, but I would say this is kind of like what do you say this? Like oh no, what am I talking about? Like a consolidation zone right here. because we still haven't broken this for a few days, and we also have this high right here. We break this high, so how would you take trades here? Honestly, this is hard to say, because this is basically looking at a 1 hour chart. How would you take trades here? We could, I mean, yeah, we could call this a this demand zone right here, because price came down here and aggressively push up, and we haven't touched this, right? The 1 hour chart, we haven't touched it. Usually when we touch it, it kind of goes away. And then we came here and we touched the demand zone right here, and then we also touched the demand zone here. But another thing is, we could look, when we touch this demand zone, you could take a trade here from this demand zone. Obviously is unpredictable because we could have broken this. So once again, you gotta kind of rely on like risk management too, because you could have taken a trade and price could just go down and then continue lower, or price could just continue and break up, and this would be like a this low would kind of get away. Actually, no, it wouldn't get away. This would be the new high, because then we would create a new low. You see how that works? So it's a little bit, but it didn't happen, right? But you could have taken a trade here. You could have like a limit order here. Stop loss obviously right here. And the reason why right here is because if we break this, then aka break up structure, right? So this trade turns around. So either you get stopped here or you just don't. Or you could put it a little bit lower, but you know what I mean? If price goes down, it's gonna go down. So you could have taken the trade here because of this little demand zone. This demand zone would be kind of invalid if we had this wick like right here touching it, because then it was like, okay, we touched the demand zone, right? Then this probably wouldn't play out and the price would go lower, right? But this is a great demand zone. You don't really see a lot of these, but sometimes they happen. So we still have this high, and this is our low right here. Okay, so price goes down here, touch this. You could have taken a trade. What do you target? I mean, you could target the high right here, or you could also target this high, you know, because honestly, like, it's really hard to say what you target, but more or less target the previous high. So you see how price came, or you could even target this high, because this is where we came from. But you could also target this, because if we actually respect it, then yeah, so you could target this. Plus here or here, doesn't matter what you target, we have this. So this could have been a chance to touch this and go lower, right? Or barely touch it. But anyway, price came here and broke and came down and then came up and basically like consolidating in this little area. But guess what? We had this. I understand we didn't close above, but we broke this. So then basically, this is what happened. This is our new high now. This is our new high. And this high is only, let's see. So, okay, so yeah, this is our new high, but nothing is confirmed, because this could be also a fake out, right? Because we're still in the downtrend, correct? And then price actually went down, went all the way down. And some people could say, oh, okay, we're just going to go lower, right? Because look, we rejected from here hard, and we started going down. You could say, yeah, price is going to go lower, probably break this demand zone. And that's true. It could. That's why risk management is involved in this. But you can also always say, okay, but I know price is consolidating, right? Like, it's literally consolidating into a triangle. I know it's going to break out, right? So you could also, and we still have this demand zone. And this touch, I mean, it's a crazy wick, right? You know, you would have liked a nice touch. Like, I mean, this could have been a nicer touch, right? You could also, you still have this demand zone. I mean, it's still valid. Plus, we broke here. So now this demand zone kind of turned into more valid stuff. And this is a liquidity right here, you could say. So this is the high. This would be a liquidity zone. Why liquidity zone? Why liquidity zone, you ask? Because we broke this high, and this basically changed the whole thing. And usually in markets I seen, usually when they touch something here but they don't break a structure, and then they break change of character. So this basically means change of character. Change of character right here. But this only change of character happens if we actually I mean, it's a weird thing. Yeah, it is change of character. But we could you see, here's the thing. This could be either change of character or just, you know, break, just, you know, fake out. Why? Because it's a wick, right? We don't know this yet. We just think either a change of character because it broke this high, or a fake out. Because we look at this way. We just had this, right? It could be a fake out and the price just nukes, right? Or a change of character. We don't know. So price goes down. Obviously it breaks through this and it's like, okay, probably fake out, right? And probably people think fake out, but we have this order block. Price comes and then reverse right away, right? And even if you miss the order block, miss this, I feel like after these two candles, if you saw this candle, you just kind of shows that the price want to goes up. And plus, look at this momentum on top of it. And if we break through this like without a problem. Here we broke it, but we came back to support. You see what I mean? Here we just break through. The whole idea of this is to break through. We don't want to break and support, because every time we support, it's like we're just like we're just imagine this is a magnet. Every time we get closer to this, or from this level, it's like a magnet. It's gonna reverse for us. So if we break out and we get closer, we're gonna fall. Or the opposite. If we come here and we're like this, we're probably gonna break out. But also depends on the push. You see how here we came, but we're still, why didn't we break out, right? Well, I mean, they had a stronger push down. It's like a magnet, but also like an opposite magnet too. It's hard to describe. I don't know how the fuck. But we had a chance to have another lawn here. Once again, I said risk management. If you could put a limit order and obviously have a stop loss lower and then target the high, this would be the high. So now look at this way. This one order block, if you target this high or this high, doesn't matter. You make profit. Price does this. Still use this order block and target the next high, and boom. And now we have a uptrend because we broke out. So now this is a break of structure right now. Price goes high. This is the next high. How would we know this is the next high? Is because we don't know actually, but we're just gonna use this as an example. This would be the low. So this is the new low right here. This is the high because we broke it, but why don't we call this a high, right? We could do this, but we could call this a high. And the reason why we could call this a high, because the only way this is a high is because of this breakout. So then this becomes a low, right? And this is how we continue. But how do we enter, right? How do we enter a trade here? That's the problem too. There's different here. Could be a reason. Look at this wick, right? This is liquidity. Once again, it's the same as right here. Where is this wick? Right here, this wick. You see, liquidity, price come and then break through. But this is the liquidity. Here, this liquidity, you see, these little liquidity levels. The problem with them is sometimes they're just like they're respected like this. You know, price could have actually went like this, go low and then break off, right? So the thing is with this liquidity, they're almost like unpredictable. What the fuck are they gonna do? Because right here, you could have been like, okay, so this liquidity price goes lower, right? But this is a small liquidity. Maybe that could be the case. Let's look at it that way. This is a small one, you see, and this is a bigger one. And also, here's another thing. I missed this actually. Here we have this liquidity. That could be the reason to target this area too, because when we're in here, like we respected this, target this area. You could target the bottom of this area, top, doesn't really matter. But we do have this break of structure here. So maybe target the top of this area, because you know we never broke this low, but we're like going up, so target the top. And then you see price comes here, like and then just break through liquidity. Obviously would have like nice support here, but you know sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes expecting something doesn't happen, you know. So obviously we would take profit from here. Price goes up, goes down. Obviously could have went down a little bit lower. I bet you a lot of people expected maybe price come here, break, touch this, and then continue higher, right? To confirm, but it didn't. So you know, market sometimes doesn't do shit like that. But we could. The only reason we'll mark this low is because we have break of structure here. And then price continue higher, obviously leaves this liquidity, and continue higher. You could say this is a new low, but I mean, you could, but it's not really, because we're still going higher. The only way this would have been a low if actually price actually shows us something like this, but it didn't. So higher, and then this is the new high, right? Here's the thing. This is doesn't mean this is a high, but it also means that we're just gonna put this as a high, because look, price came here aggressive. We could do this. We could put this a high. Oh, we broke out. This a high. We broke out. This a high, until we don't break up and go a little bit lower. And then we have this liquidity right here. Once again, price could have actually went down and then do this, as long as it didn't break this, because this is still a low. This would have been change of character or a fake out. Two things. It depends on what price will do. So this is still a low. Price could have still done that, but it didn't. You could have took a trade from here. You could obviously have a stop loss here, or even here. And then obviously if you have a stop loss here, right, and price actually does this and then come here, then yeah, you'll lose this trade, but then maybe there's a chance to enter up, you know, because once again, this liquidity, they get taken in different ways. So price breakout. This is the new low now, because this is obviously the new low. Why is this not a new low? Is because honestly, it's because price still continue higher. Then it went high. You see, if this wick was either like right here, then this would have been a low. But this wick was in this uptrend. So I would assume this is not. Yeah, I don't think this. Yeah, it can be a low, because it has to be after the high to make a low. This is before the high, so it can. Price goes up. Now let's see if we could capitalize on another. Obviously, I see all this, right? But I'm just trying to see if we could capitalize on some wins here. Like, I don't see anything. You take the trade, target this high, okay? So you basically take a trade here, target the highs. You always target highs. You don't target higher. And then this is the way, okay? And then price continue, right? Continue. Boom. This is a new high, right? We got a new high here. Nothing guaranteed, but we'll just launch it as a high. Price goes down. The low is still right here. And then obviously price comes down. We would probably expect price to come all the way, like from all the way here, maybe even touch this and go higher, right? But it didn't do that. That's the thing. Market moves however market fucking wants, you know. Sometimes we expect stuff, but and maybe that could be the reason, because we're all expecting it and the market's not gonna ignore us, you know. Market does opposite from everybody's expectations a lot of times. So because everybody expect, okay, maybe we should go lower, right? Or maybe we even go right here. You see this high, maybe we'll respect this, right? But it didn't do that. So we just mark this, and now, and you could kind of do this or not, I don't know, but it broke this. You could still continue this as like an option, but you could also mark because of these like really hard rejection right here. So this is a high, we broke. That means our low would be right here because this is the lowest point. Price goes. Obviously, price give us this little liquidity zone. We can mark this. And then obviously price continue doesn't touch this liquidity zone. It did touch here, but it doesn't touch this liquidity zone. This is like a little consolidation or something. Yeah, consolidation, because we don't really get anything out of it. I mean, you could mark this as a high, but the low would be, it's so weird. You don't want to, you want to mark like these big ones. And once again, this low is kind of also the same thing, you know. This is just not really a low. The low would be here. But let's just play along, right? Let's say this is the low, right? Because we broke right here. You could mark this as a high. You'll see the price like doesn't really show us much here. It goes into liquidity. We could take a once again, we could take a long from here. So somewhat, obviously, target this high because we don't know if it's gonna go lower. And then obviously something like this, and then we would target like a high, right? And the high would be this would be the new high now. So target like this, 1-to-1 ratio, not the best, honestly. So that's the thing. We always target highs, and the reason we don't target higher because we don't want to miss out. High, the price is going up, is always going to break the highs, right? So you don't want to target something crazy because you could have an uptrend and it never catches you. So we target this. Obviously, price breaks through, makes another high. How do we know this is a high? We don't. But because price goes aggressively down, well, let's just say here we couldn't even do this. We could like mark it as like not a confirm high, and then confirm high. So this would be a confirm high. This would be not a confirm high. If this is a high, let's just say, obviously it could be a consolidation. We could even ignore this consolidation and count this as a high, right? There's so much here you could do. But let's just say we count this as a high, right? Because obviously we had a break of structure. So then this would be the low. And now look at this. We could like put the low here. We have this high. Price actually goes down and nukes, right? Let's move this right here. Price break. We could have took another trade here too, saying it's gonna go higher, right? We would have got stopped out right here. That would have been a loss. We would have targeted obviously this high because we would expect price to like continue higher, right? But it would have been a loss. Plus we had this break of structure. You see how like this little fake out went down and up? It could have been like, you know, fake out, continue higher. And then we obviously had a change of character right here. Change of character. And price went down. Obviously this, we broke and got below this. Now this is our resistance area, this 200 moving average. And now we're in a downtrend. So either this 200 moving average is our support, like pushing us up, or our resistance pushing us down. So I'm gonna just do a quick one. So now this could turn into our resistance area, this little liquidity zone resistance area, because we broke it. Obviously we could have just came up and continue higher, right? But we did not. Plus this is the high, so there still could have been a possibility that, yeah, we broke this, we go all the way here and then we tank, right? Still could have been a possibility, we don't know. But as we haven't seen any momentum, because look, this is our area, and you see we couldn't break anything here, and then price just couldn't break anything. We could mark this as a high right here. This would be our high. We would have known, obviously we would have done this high break, this high break. Could be like a little uptrend here, super small, but this would be the low. Low is breaking again. Boom, another low. We got a high right here. Also reject from here, a high. Once again, we broke. We have this liquidity area here, but you see nothing happened here. You see, it's like, once again, market, man, I swear, like nothing happened. No, maybe we would have expected something like, you see this price going up, maybe like into liquidity and then going down, you see, but no, nothing happened. So yeah, price just continue lower. This is, we're not gonna mark this as a high. So this would be low, higher. Maybe, wait here, let's take this out. This is a liquidity zone right here too. I think these up liquidities are only good when we're in an uptrend, right? Let's see. Yeah, so you see up liquidity, they're only good in the uptrend. Let's see, up liquidity, they're only good in the uptrend, right? Down liquidity, we don't really, on downtrend, we're gonna look for down liquidities right here, not the up one. Maybe that could be the case. So down liquidity is for the downtrend, up liquidity is for the uptrend. Because it's like when we're going up, we're testing up, and then we continue, and then we go up. Or same thing when we're going down, we're testing the bottom, and then we're going down. Instead of like putting the liquidity up and going down, we're not gonna come back and test it. So you could have done this. Break here. This is the high. Obviously liquidity, we have this would be the low. And then price comes here. Obviously, you wouldn't want to take a, what is that thing called? You see, yeah, you wouldn't want to take a long here. Because we're in a downtrend. We're not targeting higher highs, you know? So, price here rejects, you could take a short from here. This area, short, but also hard. Price break down, and then obviously this breaks down. Obviously break of structure right here. We had a break of structure, so we had a break of structure, and then we had this liquidity after that. But we'll count this as a break of structure. So then break of structure, price goes up. It could be like a fake out, right? But and then this closes, so you could probably take a trade from here. Obviously stop loss right here, because rejection, and then continue targeting low. I mean, you see, it doesn't really move a lot, so these trades would have to be super small. But honestly, you see up and down, up. This is the high, low. Next high would be right here. We're expecting next high to be right here. Price goes lower. No. Boom, breaks of structure. This is the high now. Break of structure. Boom, low, high. We're expecting a high. Break of structure again. Boom. We had this fake out, our first fake out that we seen. You see how it faked out? Price goes down. Obviously, sometimes it gets more confusing. You gotta look into it, but yeah, you know it works. And downtrend, then uptrend. You see, remember, as long as we're above this, we take longs. below this line we take shorts. That's how it works. And then we're like all over the place, kind of consolidate area. Boom.